It being 5 o'clock, I'd like to call this hearing to order. My name is Mark Bobrowski. I'm the appointed hearing officer for the Wareham Board of Selectmen. We have one item of business, which is a public hearing tonight at 5 o'clock. Aspen Blue Wareham, Inc., care of attorney Jillian Morton, 184 Main Street, Wareham, is seeking a special permit to construct a marijuana product manufacturing establishment located at 8 Elm Street, Wareham, Massachusetts, Assessor's Map 132, Lot A1, under the requirements of Article 4, Section 460, and Article 14 of the Wareham zoning bylaws. Attorney Morton, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you. Let me just move you a little closer. Attorney Jillian Morton, 184 Main Street. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know if you want to push down and then I can kind of just, okay. So thank you so much. We're here today to discuss the manufacturing facility that Aspen Blue is proposed for the steel building. Within your packet, we have all the exhibits necessary, hopefully, for you to be able to go through. So this is the steel building that's located at Tremont Nail. That is the parcel of land that is located in the Tremont Nail Redevelopment District Overlay District. This site has, per the bylaw, an allowed use for manufacturing of marijuana product. So this is just going to be manufacturing in this facility. In order to get this use, we need to prove to you that there is no detrimental harm to the neighborhood, and there are certain standards that are laid out through the memorandum. And however the hearing officer would like to go through, whether it's one at a time, and make that discussion, I'd be happy to go through that.
I would like that.
Sure.
Would you take Section 1461 and go through these criteria for a special permit?
Of course. Would you like to? I'll start with one. So the use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. So that being the first requirement, we argue that this will not adversely affect the neighborhood or the community. So this district was laid out specifically and voted on to have one marijuana manufacturing facility. It's going to be a benefit for the town. Within your agreement, your package is a host agreement and also a commercial lease that was already signed with the town. The applicant and the town have basically addressed the operational areas of concern in the commercial lease and in that agreement. So that is what we would argue, that it would not adversely affect their neighborhood. Some of these sort of overlap, but I want to kind of stay specific with each one. So the second one is that the specific site is an appropriate location for such use and structure or condition. I do think that it's pretty clear through our bylaws that one use is allowed in this district, and I do think that this building in particular is the perfect site for this sort of manufacturing. It's contained. It is, there's no dimensional standards within this district per se, no parking or loading standard or landscape requirement, but the site itself, you have your site plan within your packet. Traffic will be limited. It's set back from the road as well. There will be only a limited number of deliveries and pickups from the site, really just employees and then delivery and pickup, like I said. There's no hazard to pedestrians or vehicles. It won't be a high traffic area.
So what kind of traffic are you expecting? Is this truck generation rather than passenger cars?
I think it would just be passenger cars for the employees and then small box trucks.
And how often are deliveries expected on the premises?
Maybe I'll have Matt, the president or the CEO, right, of Chirps, speak to that, to Aspen Blue.
Frank, frequency of deliveries? One a day. It's very minimal traffic.
Okay.
How many employees?
I believe we have 9 FTEs.
And how many total parking spaces?
I have that in the site plan, I believe.
I think there was 13 or...
I thought it was under 10. I believe it was 9. Can we pull up the other plan, Mr. Buckland, please? Should have. We have.
Which figure?
Oh, I can't see that. Site overview. That's the site overview. Make sure I have parking.
How many parking spots are there? How many parking spots?
That's what I thought. I thought it was 9,
Parking spots.
Yeah, I say we have.
because I believe we discussed with the engineer trying to keep it under the 10.
Hi.
Frank Zano, the third, engineering for Terps. I believe we have we have 9 total, so we had under 10 parking spots for the employees, as all deliveries will be located inside the building.
Okay, so there's 9 employees. Is that the largest shift, or is that total overall?
No, I believe that would be the largest shift.
Okay, and you have 9 parking spaces for that?
Yes.
Okay. And there's a loading dock for the box truck?
It's actually like.
are they just coming in the
box
door?
trucks actually pull into the building.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, I think we're up to criterion number 4 here.
I think, are we on 3? I don't
3 or
recall.
4.
Okay,
yeah.
they kind of blend. But number 3 is there's no nuisance or serious hazard to vehicles or pedestrians. So that's similar to what we spoke about. I mean, we can go into nuisance regarding odor if you would like under this criteria, or we can do that under one of the other ones. We do have our odor mitigation specialist here on Zoom, Kyle Baker. I don't know if that's appropriate under a different, I would probably discuss it under this one, to be honest, if you're comfortable. So, you know, odor nuisance would be something that the public would be absolutely interested in. So we wanted to make sure that we give a thorough analysis through the odor mitigation plan. So perhaps we can have Kyle speak to that. He's on Zoom. Ken, are you able to have Kyle be able to speak?
If he unmutes himself, he can
Okay.
do that.
You just text them.
You text, okay.
So he's going to describe the odor control plan?
The odor control plan, you know, within the packet is the full plan.
Yeah.
But just trying to make sure the public and everyone watching and yourself to have some understanding of the procedure mitigation that they are putting in place.
All right, Kyle.
Is it not working?
Kyle, say something.
No, we can't hear him.
We can't hear you, Kyle. Is Kyle's last name Baker?
Baker,
Yep.
yep. You can also, I think we have a call-in on the Zoom too, Matt.
Yeah.
So perhaps you can call in on the,
So the odor material is Exhibit I, right?
right.
Kyle, try talking now.
Did you text him that we have there is a call-in link right here, Matt, that he can do a one-tap mobile?
Okay. Are they able to hear him now? Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There you go.
hey.
Oh, we had him.
Audio, check.
Yes.
Okay, I can't hear you guys on my end for some reason. But we're here to talk about odor mitigation, so I'm hoping we can go through. Do that. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. We're discussing odor mitigation for the town of Wareham. EcoBud's design is designing a system for Aspen Blue that operates off 4 principles of malodor containment. These principles are used in port putrefaction, sewage, and some very strong odor industries already. You guys catch that? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. With the Wareham facility, we're using chlorine dioxide as a principal agent to actually terminate the malodor compounds using some good technology.
Are you having a hard time hearing him? Okay. I think perhaps he can call in, Matt. I think that's how we're gonna have to do it.
Operating off of 4 principles of odor mitigation, which is containment.
Is that better?
The building itself, they're facilitating different FRP boards and confined spaces for the processing of the cannabis product. That would be in dry rooms, trim rooms, kitchens. And we're also using filtration, using a proprietary media that's about 2.5 times more effective than carbon filtration. We use these systems together as a series of redundancies
Yeah.
to prevent odor from escaping that facility. Additionally, the exhaust systems, from an engineering perspective, are designed to use a high plume fan to remove odor, the absence of odor from that facility up and high above to where it can avoid detection from the human nose.
I'm trying to have him call them over.
Yeah. Would you prefer if we have him call in? I know that there's an echo, so it's probably hard
Can't really
to
hear
hear,
him.
and I want to make sure that you're
Kyle,
hearing
can
it.
you call in using the Zoom information?
Okay. All right, so we'll, I guess, kind of pause that one, because I want him to be able to give his full input. Okay, because odor is an important thing that probably, again, the public wants to know about, that the town of Wareham should know about. So let's go on to 4. So that's adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the use. This includes provisions of appropriate sewage treatment facilities, which provide, and then it kind of goes into the sewer facilities, drinking water. So we have the site there. Like I said, this site sort of has a history as well. It already has a special permit on record, which would be something I'd want to discuss with you as well afterwards. But the site itself is the appropriate use out of the whole Tremont Nail overlay district. I would argue this is probably the best building and the best spot for it. And it has been designated underneath our bylaws. 5 is that the use or structure as proposed does not pose a substantial detriment to the town or the neighborhood in which it proposed. You know, under that standard, when we're looking at substantial detriment to the neighborhood, I think that it's kind of a loaded, you know, substantial detriment. What does that mean? But I would argue, because this has been voted on by the voters, and it has been deemed an appropriate use within the area, that we should be allowed to have this manufacturing again, just manufacturing, not any sales of any marijuana products.
So I'm looking at the site overview plan that was provided, and
Yep.
it looks like there are some, I can't tell if they're businesses or houses on Main Street that are relatively close to the building.
Correct.
Has the odor plan been designed so that the exhaust will not be targeted at those houses? Or are those houses or businesses?
Oh, absolutely.
Frank, do you want to speak to that?
In Kyle's absence, I'll do my best I can. So where Kyle's system, I guess, stops is where our systems come in mechanically. So after Kyle's system takes over with chlorine dioxide and the Sphinx filters, we institute like a high plume fan. You would find it at any other laboratory complex that does anything with noxious odors or fumes. So that air column gets basically pushed into the atmosphere, and then the sun naturally breaks down odor molecules into their own inert.
Are those homes or businesses, if you know, that are closest to the subject
Look at
building?
Main Street.
On Main, yeah.
So some of them you can see are industrial uses. There's obviously a restaurant, a bike shop I know nearby. There's a commercial shop nearby as well, the old company store, which is now Echo. Most of it actually is commercial or businesses. There are some houses as well. It's kind of a mixed-use area. I do know that just through our process, the company did do a community outreach meeting as well. That's one of the standards. They're held to higher standards also with the Cannabis Commission to make sure that they're going out, hearing the community, making sure that they listen to the concerns of the abutters. So I know that they held one of those as well. Everything is regulated, and they are reviewed also by the commission to inspect the facilities, things like that as well.
Lastly, security. Has the police department reviewed the security plan?
Not to my knowledge. We do have our director of security here with us. If you want to come join us, Marco. I can tell you a little bit about the security plan. I don't think it's been submitted through the police department, but we have no problem submitting it through the police department. Marco works closely with all the police departments in the other municipalities we do business with, but he can tell you a little bit about the security.
Give me a brief description
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
security plan.
Marco Palumbo, Vice President of Security Ops and Compliance for TERPS. The security apparatus, which is built into the engineering component of the building, which is not complete yet, will include video surveillance that covers the entire interior and exterior of the building and ensure for security of deliveries and outgoing shipments. In each community that we've been in, we've developed a strong, close relationship with the police departments, the police chiefs, and ensure that they're on board with the security plan and amend it as they deem necessary.
And has anybody reviewed the security plan, whether it's local or commission or?
Is that part of the process with the commission to make sure you have security in your submittal?
We submitted a security plan to
Right.
the Cannabis Control Commission, but that has not been reviewed by the commission thus far. But we could submit a security plan to the police department.
Is the security plan part of the application package?
We typically don't put that in public record.
Well, you don't want to give your secrets away, I understand that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
we
an
use-
overview, is there an overview of the security plan, other than what you provided here today?
Let's say there's usually an overview of the operation, the security operations, but the camera and the exact specifics are between Marco and the chief of police, typically, or whoever they deem the authority having jurisdiction.
Yeah. That's what I'm used to as well. Okay. Counsel, are you done with your presentation?
I think is Kyle, did he call in, or was he able to call in?
think he called in here, but.
Yeah, we tried to
I
have
could
our-
put him on speakerphone here, but I don't know if anybody can hear him.
Yeah.
It looks,
Try talking into the microphone, through the phone.
See if you can call him
Call him here?
and see if that works.
Yeah.
I think that's an important piece that the public and the hearing officer should hear about the thoughtfulness of that.
Hey, we're gonna try to put you on the microphone here if you don't mind.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, let's see if it works here. All right, go ahead.
Hello.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah,
I cannot hear anything. There's multiple microphones going on, so it's very hard to hear anything you guys are saying. So I apologize. Can you guys reframe the question?
just give us an overview of the odor control plan.
Fantastic. So EcoBud system uses chlorine dioxide and air scrubbers to actually terminate the odor at its source. So when we look at cannabis odor and where it occurs, it's happening in the flowering process and in the curing, drying, and trimming process. The Wareham facility will be processing only, so the odor source is going to be in the cure, dry rooms, and trim areas of this facility. So we'll be executing odor scrubbing technology using chlorine dioxide, both at source and using air recirculating equipment to terminate, actually eliminate and break down those odor-causing molecules at their source. Additionally, we'll be using air filtration units with a specialized media that operates off principles of what's called chemosorption. So if you think about charcoal filtration and say in a fish tank, what that material does is absorb different volatile organic compounds and smells. The media we're using operates about 2.5 times more effective than that. So we'll be using those particular components to create a series of redundancies to eliminate the odor within the facility before it ever exits the building, and terminating the odor effectively inside and at its source rather than through HVAC systems or through some sort of an exhaust mechanism.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions?
I do. What about waste disposal?
We spoke about a dumpster, correct?
Yeah,
we-
they always have to be locked.
Are we talking about general waste or cannabis waste?
Well, both.
So cannabis waste will be disposed of per CCC regs, mixed with organic compound, made inert, and we'll have a license agreement with an approved vendor to do that. And then, I guess regular trash receptacle-wise, we have a pad on site. We haven't really cited a dumpster yet,
Right.
per se.
There'll be a regular dumpster
It'll be a
pickup.
regular dumpster. Actually, I guess that the dumpster could be located, there's 2 loading docks on site. I think we'll only be utilizing one of them. One of them kind of comes into the building. If you look at the plan, it's kind of, I guess it would be the one furthest from the street. We could just put the dumpster right in there, so it wouldn't take up any more space on site.
Okay. And is this building going to be sole purpose for this, or is there other
That's it.
operation in this building?
Nope,
Okay.
only purpose.
Just manufacturing.
We permitted one here a year and a half ago. Which is the building in which that's located?
It's the same building that, I guess, that
Yeah, I can speak to that. if you
Organic
like.
Brands fell through.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And that was one of
Okay.
my questions,
okay.
Attorney Bobrowski. That is on title, that special permit that was granted to them.
Yeah.
So I guess the question would be regarding a title, if we do get approved, how does that work? Does that get released? Does it get assumed?
Did
'Cause
they record it?
They recorded it. So,
Are we, how far along are we on the 2-year lapse period? Yeah.
yeah, so,
So it'll come off in 2 years from the date of issuance, which was
Okay.
the vote. And it's null and void at that point in
null and
time. unless they were to come forward and say they had good cause not to have used it in that 2-year period of time, but they're basically defunct at this point? Okay. I can put a provision in the special permit if it's granted that says that this is intended to supersede
Yeah,
a special permit
Okay.
issued earlier.
thank you.
Okay. Is there any comment from members of the public? Seeing none? Is there anybody else that possibly is on Zoom, Ken?
Maybe, if this is Barry Cosgrove, are you going to have anything to say, to add?
Hear him coming out of here. I hear him somewhere, I just can't hear him.
Is Mr. Cosgrove the only participant you can identify on Zoom?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Mr. Cosgrove, going once, going twice. If you have something to say, we'd love to hear it.
I think he's shy about
Mr. Cosgrove being shy, I close the public hearing.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think that indicates it's
All right, thank you very much. I'm inclined, on the basis of what I've heard today, to grant the special permit. The use meets each and every one of the special permit criteria that are set forth in section 14.61. It's not going to adversely affect the neighborhood. The site is an appropriate location for the use. There will be no nuisance or serious hazard to vehicles or pedestrians. Adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use. The use or structure does not pose a substantial detriment to the town or neighborhood in which it's proposed, and the proposal, as approved, conforms with all other applicable provisions of the Wareham zoning bylaw. I will make findings of more detail with regard to each and every one of those criteria when I put the final special permit decision together. And I will do that within the next 10 business days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. There being no other business before this hearing, the public hearing and the evening is adjourned. Thank you.